Well, hello everybody. Let's take a gander at what we can eat in the food forest today. This is just along the alley, but this is actually black-seeded Simpson, the annual lettuce. It has come back repeatedly year after year after year, which is actually pretty cool. Since we're alongside the alley and there is minimal traffic, I don't need too much of the lettuce here. But when these goji berries come on, I usually eat these. These are those native flowers, I forget what they're called, but all this right here is goji berry. This right here, so you can kind of see how it, sometimes they call it a ground cover. And we have an espalier apple tree that we're trying to save here. I would doubt there's any real apples on there, because once we had gotten into the ground, we're just trying to get enough water. It seems to be doing okay, but it's really on the sunny side of the world here. Then we have our regular mix of strawberries. There's none forming right now, but right next to that, a red currant. See how well I can get a picture of these. There you go. It's quite a bit. There's just one bush. The little bushes. They are heading toward the end of their little season here. They're a seedy berry. They're kind of tart, but they're kind of nice to snack on. And also, the little pink ones, pink champagnes, are very similar. I think these taste even better, but the best ones by far are the black currants. And you can see these ones are a little bit, they'll stay ripe, they'll be good, I guess, to eat for longer than the red. And then the black actually comes after that. So if you're looking for a way to spread out your currant season, you do red and then pink, and then wherever you'd put your black currants. You can walk around, have some snackies whenever you'd want. Let's go over here to our raspberries, because we did a little bit of clearing. I want to show you how those are coming along, because now go through the walnut. We just cleared out all this of maples and whatever else, but it gives you a good access into the raspberries. See what we can see in here. These are all raspberries, and one of the reasons why we cleared that off is because everything is too shaded here. We're not getting enough sun in order to produce the raspberries. So if you see any pink or red or black, yell at the screen. I don't think you'll see any, because there just hasn't been enough sun exposure for the plants to actually... Oh, we got a couple here. Yeah, so there's a little bit of action here. Toward the edge, toward the permaculture edge here. We're getting some. Yeah, those are trying to ripen. Let's see if they can get bigger. I'd like to show you one of the glossy finished versions. Not seeing any. There are plenty of fruits though. Let's see if this one's a little bit closer. But it'll be shiny yellow. Not like a yellow, but it'll be shiny. It's pretty much when you know that they're ripe. So let me go back up and see what we have in the more sunny areas. Because as far as snacks in a food forest, you always want to have food. And one of the ways you can always pretty much have food is with chickens, of course. Hi, buddies. Hi, to the buddies. And if you're more intelligent about plants and stuff like that, I'm sure that's edible in some way, and there's probably some use for this plant. I don't know about a cherry leaves, but that produces berries, of course, or cherries. These are sunflowers, I do believe. This is another area that we had cleared out, because we have a lot of maples. See that? There's some maples. We got a lot of walnut. But that is a hazelnut. We wanted to get more sun to that. And this had become more of a warren for animals, and it was becoming too much of like a home for wild animals. So kind of like a reset, but it was also like a training exercise for our apprentices. to show the different types of cuts, how cutting one year and then cutting another year would change things, and also if that goop that you can put on there would actually help. But it it's very fresh right now, so it'll be hard to really show you the whole picture on why we cut things and what we cleared them for until things start to regrow and they branch out in the ways that we expect them to. But that will allow for the other half of our raspberry patch to get more sun. So one thing that needs to go still is this walnut, because these are all of our black cap raspberries, which is a favorite of that beetle. And it may be still too early for the black caps. I thought I was gonna show a video where there's like a whole flood of black cap raspberries. Well, that's a bummer. They're forming. They're starting to form. But you can see, if you look at my old videos just randomly, because you guys love my videos so much, I'm sure you'll look at some more. You'll see that it was just a ring. This didn't exist last year. This wisteria was kind of getting out of control, but it has now become one with the feeder there. And our peach, which was just a little guy, is now a monster. You can see we've pruned it and it's quite thick. And then our first branching, and then these additional branchings. So next year, I think probably this midsummer, since it's midsummer now, we'll trim some more of this back, get rid of that walnut, and then we'd probably expect this to have fruit on it next year. The reason why I say that is because we want it to be a walking food forest. So if there is fruit falling right along the pathway with your honeyberries, which I think I'll trim those for the first time too. The honeyberries are new to me, but trim that. But you can walk through, eat your snackies. You got your asparagus on the right, some annual veggie beds if I were to use them as annual veggie beds, hazelnuts, asparagus. Then you keep going along, hazelnuts, keep going along. We have a bunch of other things. There's blackberries right here. They're starting to form. It's I don't know, 87 in the shade in Indiana right now, but it's kind of cool to go around and see what there is to snack on, because we need snacks for the bumblebees. We also need snacks for humans. We need snacks for the chickens. We need snacks for everybody. So we are treading a balance, I suppose, between what is edible for us, what's edible for everybody else, what kind of foods we want, and trying to get really some shade into our system. So like that nitrogen fixer right there, I think I'm pointing in the right direction. It's really great to produce a lot of food and create some shade, but it grows so large, it kind of blots other things out. So kind of I don't know, a balancing act between what kind of stuff you want where. This area though that we had cleared out is just so full of maples that we had to do something. And the other plant that we selectively, hey, we got a hand there. The other tree that we selectively get rid of are the black walnuts. Well, you see this one is almost, if I can do this is almost the next pillar for our chicken run here. You can see that. So, snip off the branches that are in the way. Let that one get bigger and taller and stronger. And see, maybe further along around the road you can. Because what I've noticed over the last 5-6 years is that this was just an area that was mowed, and ever since then it's been trying to figure out what works, what I like, also trying to learn about plants and how they grow, the interactions between them, trying to balance even pollinating, like flowers that are always having flowers that are open, pretty plants you can eat. We have like the river lilies in with Asiatic lilies in places. We have pears right here. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see my screen because I just flipped the phone around without stopping the recording. But there's a number of pears on that pear tree, which is good because if it's an apple with pears on it, it'd be strange. Yeah. So I don't know, I think it looks awesome. I'm looking at another hazelnut and aprium and more maples and all sorts of this. Queen Anne's lace is really taking over this entire place. And I don't know much about it, but I'm kind of, we call it minimal interference is what they call it. And minimal interference is code for being lazy, I suppose. But the cool thing is that I enjoy it. I'm learning as we go. I'm eating currants as I go around, and it looks like I'll be getting some yellow strawberries here in another maybe week. I'll continue to get eggs. We'll continue to eat and munch. We're pretty much done with mulberries. As you see, we got a little bit of maintenance to chop off. These are all grapes, the wild grapes that come through. So we gotta get rid of that. And then trim some of the lower branches from the mulberry just to keep it off of that netting. And that's more of a maintenance thing. So it's always been one of the goals, is to get to a phase where you're just maintaining the garden and eating the fruit when it comes. We're getting pretty close to that. As long as we keep these pathways mowed wide and still accessible enough and not too chaotic for me. And yeah, and getting more shade. So I guess that's all I have for today. I hope everybody's enjoying their holiday, their 4th of July America Day. I am going to get this uploaded and go get some AC. All right, thank you, bye-bye.